Welcome back, guys. In the previous video, we have discussed about key clock, what exactly a key clock is, and what is the working of the key clock. In this video, as you can see, we will see from where we can download the key clock. Even though we will see how we can configure the key clock. In the configuration, it contains two parts. First is the configuration before executing the application like key clock. In that contains like changing the port number. Okay, and other configurations are from the server side, that is once the key clock is being running, how we can configure those things like changing the realms name, users, roles. I will explain all these things, so be with me. So let's move on and see from where we can download this key clock. Okay, so we will go to the key clock and see. So for further information, you can go to this get started and get the documentations. Okay, and even the docs as well as. So we'll go to this downloads. Okay, so when you go there, you will come across this term, the standalone application. So let me explain you this. Actually, key clock comes in different modules. Like you can also have clustered form, domain based, and standalone based. So the standalone is that there will be a single application in which it will be deployed, and everything, the HTTP request and everything is going to be change or exchange from that IP address only. In the clustered form, it is being distributed into different VM machines, which will work among themselves and give you the required results. Okay, so for our working, we'll go on with this standalone application. So for that, we will download, click on this zip, and you can even go with the tar as well as. Okay, so I have already downloaded it. This and all, this client adapters we will come across later. We will discuss about everything later. So first of all, our main priority is this server one. So we'll download the zip file. I have already downloaded it. You can download it, and let me show you where I have kept it. So let me go to my downloads and show you my key clock. Okay, so here you can see I have downloaded the key clock. I will extract it. So I think it is being extracted, and let's go inside. So let me explain you firstly the folder structure. Okay, the bin contains the executable files. It contains whether you are deploying in the domain mode. You can see you can execute by running this domain batch file. Okay, and even though you can have this shell script as well as, you can use any of them to run it. For our case, for adding the users, there are two ways. Firstly, you can do it with the CLI. Even for the user interface, you can also do that. We'll come into that picture later. Firstly, we'll see other configuration. And for the standalone, we can go here. We have to execute this file standalone. For the Windows, you can use batch file, and for Linux or Unix based OS, you can use the shell script. Okay, so let's move on with that. What we are going to change before executing it. So for the normal case scenario, mostly what happens is that our port 8080 is required, at least for me. For you might not be. So in that case, you don't have to do anything. You can directly execute this file, and it will execute the key clock in the port 8080. But for my case, let me show you. So here you can go to this standalone folder structure. Okay, there are other folders like themes, welcome content. Theme is actually for changing your look and feel. So you can go into the themes and check out. You can change the base, key clock, everything you can change. For this video, we'll stick to this only. So we'll go into the configuration. Here you can see, and when you go there, you will see this standalone. You can open it, and here you could be able to change those folder structure. Okay, so what you have to search is that you can search offset. This will take you to this one, socket binding group, standard sockets. Here what you can do is that you can change this offset. Okay, it's right now 0, so it will execute on 8080. If you make it 1, it will execute on 8081. So for the time being, I'm taking it 9. So it will execute on port 8089. We'll just save it. Once I've saved it, I will close this and will go into that place where I've showed you the bin. Here we can start our CMD and we can execute it. Standalone. That's it. So let's check whether it's working or not. So we will go to this. So we have set the localhost 8089. Okay. So let's run it. And yeah, here you can see your admin keycloak is there. So what I was talking about in the bin folder, your add users. So to add, first of all, when you execute the keycloak, you need to have a user that is for the master realm that could be able to change all the configuration on your keycloak side. You're adding realms, your users, your roles, everything is going to be done by that user. Later on, you can add users and make them also a user of master realm and give them admin rights. But for the time being, for the first time, you have to make a user. But so I'm for this time, I'm going to make a very tough password, that is admin and admin. Password confirmation again admin. So you can use this without GUI. I have told you that. So okay, so I have done this. User is being created. I will go to the admin console and here he will ask me to log in. So I will give admin and again admin. So yeah, this will be your first interface. As you can see, this is your master realm. Okay, and this is your admin realm. So man, firstly what you have to do, if you have to configure any of your application to the key clock, I would suggest not make those configuration as a master realm, rather make a new realm. So realm, I have told you in the earlier video, it's kind of a scope in which your users, your client, everything is going to be there in that. There's an option to import. Once you have made a realm, you can export and import it here. All your configuration like user roles, everything will be there. So for the time being, I'm taking it demo. I have made a plenty of that. I will create it. It will take a few minutes. Okay, so once you come across there, you will come across many options like this one, display name, everything. So I will tell you the important fields that will help you in this. uh, this screen is for something when any of the users is trying to access any of the clients of this demo realm. So whether in that screen you just want to have ask them user ID or password, or even though you want them to have options of user registrations, edit username, forgot password, remember me, if you want all those options, you can just enable them and that will be there. Okay. This one you must be asking the SSL. Actually, this is for the security purpose. If you enable it, there might be three options. Yeah, all request means any of the IP address could be able to access your applications or your client IP. Okay. In case of external requests, there are certain IPs that are being allowed. Other than those IPs, you can't be able to access this key lock and authenticate. If you make it none, none can access. Okay. So for the time being, we are taking it external because it includes most of them. Themes you can set. You can, if you want any kind of theme, you can add them. As I've showed you the folder of themes, you can add them and that will appear here. There you have seen that there is only base and key clock. You can add yours and that will appear here, and you can select that and everything will be there. Okay. This is the basic thing which you can set in the realm. Other options are there. You can further go into the options and can experiment with them. Second thing is the client. This is the most important thing as per me. So if you want to kind of secure any of your IP, that comes here. I'm just taking it as demo. Okay. Protocol you can decide. OpenID Connect you can use, or SAML also you can use. But I would say OpenID would be more preferable. And then the root URL you can give, like I want to secure local host. Yeah, 884 is suggesting we can use this, but it might not be suggesting for your case. I have already used it. Sorry, I forgot the HTTP. Okay, so it's created. Once you have done here, you will come across many things. Same thing you can see here, login screen. You can choose whatever you want. Access type you can use public, confidential, and bearer only. I would suggest use public or bearer only. Don't use confidential because it might go deprecated into the few next few versions. Bearer only is that I will explain you the difference between public and bearer only. In bearer only, you will all allow only users which are having tokens. You won't allow other users to ask for the token and then get bypass this key clock. Okay, so you can use either public or bearer as per your. In this flows, there are different flows that key clocks or any of these OAuth 2.2 application follows. We'll not discuss this in this video. And this is the most important part, this valid URL. Okay, okay. So what is this? uh, to have your application reach the key clock, for that you have to do the configuration on the application side, that whenever a person asks to access any of the URL, you will redirect that to the key clock. But once that application reaches the key clock, you have to define that URL where you want to send that user to. Let us suppose I try to access localhost 8084. Once I try to access that, it will redirect me to the key clock to enter the credentials. Once I enter the right credentials, I need to know where I have to go from now. So that path you will right here with the adequate that the person will reach that path. For time being, I have defined localhost 8084, and the next step. Uh, so the user will reach here with the token from the key clock that can be used to bypass the security of key clock. The other things like roles. So what we can do, for every client there are different roles which are used to secure the application or different pages of the applications. Means like, okay, taking the case of local 8084, so the local host 8084, in that application there might be different pages. There might be few functionalities which you want to define for admin. So in that case you can make a role as admin. Like for the timing I'm making it admin. It's up to you if you want to have description or not. Once you made this attribute role admin, you can go here to the attribute sector. You can go to this user sectors. For the right now there is no users which is having this role admin, so we will return back to our demo client and we will come across. So I have just made a admin role. I will tell you there is a different way also how you can make the roles. We will come across that later. Okay, other options if you want you can experiment that, that's up to you. But I will show you this installation, that is important one. So once you are trying to configure your application, whether Tomcat, Vendify, any application, Java E application or any Angular application, you require this information. Everything information, your configuration, the demo is being there. So you can use whether this one or you also use XML, this one. So this settings you have to provide in your application side, your client side, so as to talk to this key clock. Okay, so I have told you I will show you another way to add a roles. So here it comes. So here when it comes here, these roles are for the master realm. Okay, remember that. So we will add this role here, like we want to add a role name user. So once we will do that, again you will see there is no users to this role. So we can go to the user sector and can see. First we will see there is no user for this one. As we are in the demo realm, there is no user right now. So we can add the users from here. Like I'm going to add a user. I'm making admin 1. Okay, you can have this email verify. That means you can ask for the email or user ID, whatever you want. So for the time being, I have made this user enabled. Okay, once you save it, you will come to this credential side. This is the most important part. You have to remember this one. So there you haven't entered any password, but here you have to enter. So I am taking it admin 1 only. You can see. So here you see the option of temporary. If you disabled it, what will happen is that this will be the password of the user. But if you don't disable it, it will again it will be a one time password. So the user will be logged to this password for the but once it's login, it will ask for to reset the password to that user. So you can have that functionality, or you can make permanent password from there only. So I will disable it and set password and for the time being. Here you can see the role mapping thing. This is the most important thing. Okay, so see there is a realm. So right now we have made this user realm as I've told you. Okay, so we are going to take our demo here. In that we have defined admin role. Okay, so we will select that role and it is assigned to that user. So our admin 1 user is being assigned with a role of which one? Your admin client. Okay, so you can either have see the sessions where the user is being logged in. You can even see groups is another functionality. I will show you. Right now there is no group, but you can have group. Let us suppose you want different type of roles to have same access. So in that case you don't want going again and again to a user and define those roles. So what you can do, you can group that role together and define that role to that user. In that case, that user will be having all those functionalities. So right now what we are having a user. You can see, you can edit from here, you can delete everything, whatever you want, you can experiment from here. So users you can add. These users are being applicable for the realm demo. Okay, again if you want to define any of the roles, you can go here and add the roles. So this is the configuration from this perspective. The other options like sessions, you can see which user is being logged in. Sessions, you can log out all, or there would be if the users are being logged in, you could see option here as well. As for the specific user, you could log out them as well. So in that, if you want to import the entire configuration of any of the key clock setting, that you can do from here. And that thing you can do, like you can see here, you want to export roles and group, you want to export clients, you can export from here and later import in this setting. Okay, so that's all guys for today. If you have any question, kindly let me know and comment down below. Thank you.